Hi everybody, I'm David Rodriguez. Welcome to Leaning Left. Marjorie Taylor Greene wrote a book. I don't know if she wrote it herself or she had a ghostwriter. Whatever the case, there's a book full of Marjorie Taylor Greene's thoughts. I know, you think it'd be empty, but no, it's actually a full book. It's not selling well. I actually thought it would. I can't stand the woman, but I actually thought her book would sell pretty well because you can't avoid seeing her. Maybe that's why it's not selling well, because I think probably a lot of people are really tired of seeing her. But last I heard it was like up around like the 10,000th best-selling book on Amazon. Not doing great. But you know, I wanted to say something like, oh well, you know, the people who follow her can't read anyway, but that's probably not true. I'm sure some of them can, but that's not a group that probably chooses to read very much, because if they chose to read things, they probably wouldn't believe Marjorie Taylor Greene's BS. But I thought we'd have a little fun with this today. I went on Amazon to check out the reviews for this book, and I actually thought I'd have to wade through like hundreds, maybe even thousands of them. There was less than 10. I'm talking about written reviews. There was one that was positive. I'm not going to read that because it's just boring, goofy MTG follower stuff. But I'll read the rest of them. The book is called MTG, by the way. So let's get into it. Let me show you some of these reviews because they're quite special. Brian G., he gave it 1 star. He says, I feel ripped off. This book had absolutely nothing to do with Magic the Gathering. Yeah, so if it had anything to do with that particular card game, it would have sold more in the first day than this book has sold in its entirety so far. I guarantee you that. Okay, here's another one. Marsha P. gives it 1 star. What is she talking about? I was a huge supporter of MTG and voted for her 2 times, but this book is garbage. The only thing in this book that is truthful is her name. Was going to buy it for family for Christmas, but glad I read it first. Which, I mean, it's nice that she's at least glad she read it for some reason. I don't know if this is actually someone who voted for Marjorie Taylor Greene, but good on you at least for seeing through the BS at this point. So, you know, that's great. All right, this one is just from someone named Amazon customer, so no name. 2 stars. And it says, OMG, MTG. Wow. Thought she was the pretty congressman from the theater. Expected the centerfold, but she's the other one. Will probably return. That's brilliant. Just because there's this weird animosity between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert that I find absolutely fantastic. I love every second of their ridiculous cattiness because it's fun to see the Republican Party implode. But that's just brilliant. I don't even know. I don't even know if I could add anything to it. It's just brilliant. So let's check out another one. John Allen, give it 1 star. Surprised. When I heard MTG had written a book, my initial thought was it must be a coloring book, but nope. Sure enough, it's actually a book with words in it. Shazam! It is shocking. I wonder how many times the words Jewish space laser appears in that thing. I don't know. It's very confusing because she talked about that, but she's also supposedly pro-Israel. So fascinating stuff. But yeah, it's actually not a coloring book. It's really shocking. Next one we have Greg gives it 1 star. Says total fiction. I couldn't even get through half of the book. MTG is living in a different world than most people. You could tell it stretches the truth and imagination. Yes, that is MTG in a nutshell. Anytime you hear her talking, there's truth stretching and just imagined BS. All right, Tag wrote, full of imaginations. I saw my neighbor throwing this book into the trash and asked him if I could read it first. Boy, what a boring mistake. This book is far from any reality and full of imaginations. Don't waste your time. I will not waste my time. Believe me, I will. Not even if I get this free, I will not read this book because it's painful enough to hear MTG try to get through a sentence. So, and then the last one, my favorite one. I hope this is true. I didn't really have a good way to check it, but okay. T. Wilkinson gives it 1 star. Says filled with lies. America first, printed in Canada, filled with lies. God, I hope that's true. That is. If so, that's hilarious and not shocking even in the least bit. Like the MAGA hats that were all made in China, of course. So that's it. Those are the Amazon reviews for the book MTG, supposedly by Marjorie Taylor Greene, other than the one positive one, which is too boring to bother with. Wow. You know, I thought at least the RNC would help out by buying thousands and thousands of copies like they do for so many of the other people, but maybe maybe because MTG's probably not a big fan of Rhonda McDaniel and probably has said that many times. Maybe that's why they aren't helping her out. Maybe she kind of shot herself in the foot with that one, in which case that's hilarious. I think it's funny as heck. And to be honest, I don't think it's out yet. I'm going to bet Liz Cheney's book is coming out here soon. I don't know exactly the date. I'm going to bet you that that one sells more copies in the first day than the entire run of the book MTG so far. That's my guess. I don't know if there's a way to look this up, but I'll be amazed if that doesn't happen, because I think that book will actually be considered a real bestseller, and MTG's will just languish in obscurity forever, and I can't wait to see it. Let me know what you think, though. Is this something you would ever consider reading? Would you ever look at this book? Do you think it's... what would you think of somebody that you saw reading this book? I want to know that. If you see someone reading this book somewhere, what would you think of that person? Please tell me in the comments, because I think it'll be funny as hell. If you happen to see any reviews for this elsewhere that you think are hilarious, pass them my way. Just copy and paste or whatever, because I would love to hear it. I think it's funny as can be. So please do that. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit like and subscribe and click the little bell icon so you can know about the next time I put out a video. And in the meantime, stay woke, stay vigilant, keep fighting, and remember, if you keep leaning left, you'll always be right.